Appalachian State.
against Nick Key. And Nick Key, while Nate Jackson is ranked 11th coming into this one, we've got Nick Key, who has been ranked as highly as 28th in the NCAA coaches panel. So it's going to be really interesting for him as his 24-5 record going up against Nate Jackson, who has had a pretty good season so far, has he not?
Oh, absolutely, he has. Looking at a 25-6 season record, his career record is 48-19. He is coming off of a loss, a pin from Blaze Butler from Missouri, but it looks like he's definitely going to be coming out fighting. He is already on the ground.
Absolutely. So we have Nate Jackson coming off of a loss, but he was the Big Ten coming off of a victory rather against Phil Bukakis from the Rutgers wrestling squad. But it was a little bit more interesting earlier this season when he took down number 1 Bo Nickel here in this gymnasium of Penn State, which warranted him the January 12th Wrestler of the Week in the Big Ten nomination. So for Nate Jackson, this is not only a bit of a different matchup than he's been used to at some point in his career this season, but it looks like he is definitely taking advantage of that experience and already with a 2-point lead over Key here in the first period.
Definitely, because like we said, we're tied right now, 3 points and 3 points for both teams, IU and App State, and Jackson is going to have to take this opportunity to make that tie into a lead.
Absolutely. We've got Nate Jackson will start on top here with just under 2 minutes left in this first period. And Nate Jackson is a little bit taller, so he's going to use that lengthy frame to hopefully encourage some stronger pulls, as we will take some time and reset in the neutral position after a bit of a small injury to Nick Key, but everything is fine and we'll restart. As Nate Jackson comes right back with a little bit of aggression.
2-point takedown,
and a
Jackson.
2-point takedown for his second one of the first period alone. It looks like Nick Key is trying to complain about something, but the referees do not see it in the slightest, as Nate Jackson simply has a good hold on him. Nate Jackson slipping out of that hold that he had on Key's ankle, looking to find another way to grab some leverage over Key. Nate Jackson accumulating some massive amounts of riding time here in the first period alone.
Key almost on his feet. Back up again.
Almost fully escaped, but Nate Jackson still on top here,
Did
not
not
letting
let him
linger.
go.
Absolutely. And we've got Nate Jackson there with a quick check of where he was on the mat, where he was within the period, drawing to a close there. We've got Nate Jackson with a 4-1 lead after one.
Chooses button.
And we have Nick Key choosing up to start the second period.
Leaving Jackson with the possibility for a real quick and easy 1-point escape, so we'll see how that works out for him.
Absolutely. And so there we have Jackson already on his feet. And Key threw, but it didn't really land too well, as Nate Jackson played impeccable defense there.
IU students, be sure to check out the new
Both wrestlers stepped out of bounds, so we will have a reset in the middle of the mat. Nate Jackson starting down once again, looking to escape from Nick Key.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at IU Crimson Guard.
And so the Hoosiers are definitely going to be looking for Nate Jackson, the redshirt junior from Crete, Illinois, to have a pretty big day, not only today, but also going forward into the Big Ten Championships. And furthermore, they're looking to him to be their face in New York City at the national championship level in Madison Square Garden in mid-March.
Yep, that'll be coming up at about 5 weeks from now, March 17th through the 19th. But even before that, the Big Ten Championships, March 5th and 6th, at the Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City.
Absolutely, and there you had Nate Jackson almost with a couple opportunities to get some pretty hard takedowns of Nick Key, but he settles for the 1-point escape, bringing his lead to 5 points here in the third matchup of the day. There we've got Nate Jackson using that court awareness, or that mat awareness rather, to reset himself in the middle of the floor here so that he has ample opportunity to go any direction depending on what Key is doing. Very confident play by him there, to knowing that he has the upper hand on Key to make his adjustments given that.
Less than 10 seconds left in the second. You see where they go from here, right near the edge of the circle.
And there's a stalemate called, and we will reset with 3 seconds left.
Both coaches back on their feet.
Absolutely, and that just shows how intent both Coach Goldman and Coach John Mark Bentley are in not only winning each individual matchup and making their wrestlers better, but working towards a team victory, not only here, but going forward.
Because I've got to say, from what I've seen so far, it looks like we are pretty evenly matched up here between IU and App State. The wrestlers coming out do not seem to have anyone with a decided advantage, even with the final scores coming out of these matchups.
Absolutely, and there is not much of a difference. We see that IU has a 3-6 conference record, but we've got to remember that that is coming in the toughest wrestling conference in the nation. While Appalachian State may have a 6-1 record in the Southern Conference, but the sheer status and reputation of the Southern Conference is just nowhere near as high as the Big Ten.
It's a totally different kind of conference. But then if you look at their overalls, that gives kind of almost an entirely different picture, with App State 11-4 and IU 6-6 overall. So that is nothing like reflecting what their Big Ten is or their SoCon.
Absolutely. The Hoosiers actually had a big win over number 20 Minnesota, and in a tournament against Eastern Michigan in the same weekend back in December. So it's going to be really interesting to see, after that sort of success early on and some tournament and invitational success near the end of 2015, how they can translate that after a bit of a losing streak against some very, very, very tough Big Ten competition.
Even though this is actually Indiana coming off of one of their best seasons since 2009-2010, hopefully going to improve from their 12th-place finish last year as they go into those NCAA conferences.
Absolutely, and there we see Nate Jackson, the leader of this team, getting another 2-point takedown as he is simply overpowering Key so far in this one.
1-point escape, Key.
Key gets a 1-point escape, but will that be enough to put him in striking position with only 45 seconds left in this third period? And here we see Nate Jackson understanding that he has victory sealed. It's just a matter of riding this one out, staying within the confines of the mat, playing the smart game against Key, who is really looking, and there he goes. As he's playing the smart game, he gets another 2-point takedown against Key with roughly 20 seconds left in the third period.
Before we head into 184 pounds with Matt Eric, the redshirt junior from
2-point takedown,
going against
Jackson.
Taylor Jackson, sophomore from App State.
And we have Nate Jackson getting another 2-point takedown to bring his lead to 7 points, maybe 8 with the riding time point, depending how the time shook out. Major decision. There we have it. 174-pound winner today was of number 11 in the nation, Nate Jackson, over